120 years ago, 13 pioneering women created the Visiting Nurse Association of Cleveland, with a focus on innovative, high-quality, home-based care services. Since then, the VNAO of Ohio has grown to be the premier nonprofit organization, serving thousands of people in the comfort and safety of their own homes. Our goal is to promote the independence and dignity of those living in our community. But we cannot do it alone. By caring together, we are moving healthcare forward. From your support and the support of those who came before you, we have created our legacy, a century of firsts. First, to form a committee to address communicable diseases. First, to establish school nursing for the Cleveland Board of Education. First, to establish a public health curriculum for the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. First, to provide therapy and rehabilitation services in the home. First, to provide a federally funded maternal and infant care program. First in Northeast Ohio, to provide community reintegration of psychiatric patients. First, to form an education practice partnership with Cleveland State University. First, to offer point-of-care technology via laptop for home health. First, to form a cross-state home health care merger by partnering with New Jersey-based VNAO Health Group. And in 2022, we became the preferred home health affiliate for the Metro Health System to serve even more people in our community who otherwise would not receive home health care. Moving healthcare forward. As our history shows, VNAO of Ohio is responsive to the needs of our community because it is our mission, our core, and allows us to care with the patient, their physician, their caregiver, and their family. VNAO of Ohio is able to care together and build a healthier community to ensure each patient succeeds in reaching the best health outcome possible, to move healthcare forward. All thanks to your ongoing support. Your donations provide hope for those who need it most.
Because there's nothing like being home.
We care together for the medically underserved. We care together to provide critical home care interventions. We care together to support the future needs of our community.
Some things I think are really important when we celebrate 120 years is that it was the visiting nurse associations in the United States that were really the pioneers. And not even at the start of the century and continuing through changes in health reform, but we would be the only ones that somebody would say, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here first. There's not much happening new in any kind of a hospital-based system. They're following what the docs are doing. You're going to find changes in nursing care out of a VNA like this. So there were just many things that we did and other VNAs did. And this is what's different, is the mission is not only to do it, but to do it the best and to find the best way to do it. And the purpose was charity, always charity, to help these people who could not render the resources for themselves. So what we would do as nurses then, with our big hats and heavy coats, and God knows how they even got around, and they'd be on horseback or they'd be on buggies, would get into the center, and then what we did is we would say, hey, if you got 25 cents, please give it to us, because we'll put it to our charitable fund. Here is the mission from 1902, as written. The object of the association is to provide graduate nurses to visit those otherwise unable to secure skilled assistance in time of illness, to teach cleanliness and the proper care of the sick, and to prevent the spread of disease.
And today's mission is, it is our mission to provide high quality, comprehensive home health and hospice care to promote the independence and dignity of those living in the communities we serve.
Well, what's old is what's new. Maybe we're back to the future.
I think we are.
Critical to VNAO of Ohio's success and innovation are our partners, those who support our mission to offer life-sustaining, home-based healthcare services for everyone in our service area, no matter their financial circumstances. Without our partners and the support of others, our work would not be possible.
I foresee us continuing on despite the difficulties that home care faces. It's more important now than ever, and I really hope and pray that VNA is here in another 120 years, celebrating their 240th anniversary, because the people of Cleveland are very generous, and the caregivers and organization that we have is just so strong in the home health care industry.
I remember going to one of the early events like this at VNA and being struck by the people who had a chance to talk like we are now, and being struck by how important the work was, and being struck by how you can look around, but at the end of the day, you got to look to yourself if you think this work's important, and give of your time, your energy, and your treasure to the extent you can. So the future depends on people like us and others to carry the torch, I guess. And I'm like Paul. I've seen a lot of philanthropy in Cleveland. I know it can happen, and when you have a good cause like this one, it should happen, and hopefully it will.
My first involvement with VNAO was from a very passionate person, Mary Lou Strickland, one of the former directors of VNAO. And she tapped me on the shoulder and just said, "I'd really like you to serve with us at VNA." And just her passion was so inspiring. But I think the thing that made the most difference to me was when we first had orientation and they sent me on a ride-along. And I actually got to see face-to-face patient care that was happening in people's homes. And it was inspiring and life-changing, and just really tied me to the mission immediately. So it was very easy to get involved and to participate and start to give to VNA. I had a project that was actually leading me in a different direction, and so I had to step down. But when I stepped down, they tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You need to find a replacement." And so I was very fortunate that I went no further than in our organization and tapped the shoulder of Bob Solich, longtime manager, been with us over 39 years actually. And he stepped in 2010, and he really should be receiving this award. When I reflect too on Bob Solich, is one of the things is he's just quiet and he's humble, and he just goes about and does it. And I know, with talking with him, the success of some of the efforts that he's had in fundraising. And I know that he's been responsible for helping raise over $1 million these past several years. And it's just incredible fortitude, staying after it and making sure that, they're meeting their goals so they can deliver great patient care. When we talk about giving, tonight being recognized for consistent giving, not just a one-time large contribution, but something that over time, we've given consistently to this organization, and that gift has added up. And so I always challenge people, it's not the size of the gift, it's sometimes, just being there and being faithful and being consistent and giving year after year is what these organizations need. But a one-time gift is okay too.